Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing well out there. My name is Thomas Taylor III, coming to you live once again on this February 5th, Sunday morning, live from Lawrenceville, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. Well, hey, I hope everybody's doing well out there. The weather wasn't too bad out here yesterday, so wherever you are, I hope your weather is at least halfway decent. Well, hey, I'm not going to be long before you this morning. I'm going to try to make it, short and powerful. But I want to talk to you about something that I've been kind of having conversations with different individuals about. And it is, are you being fulfilled by your 9 to 5? I'm going to say it again. Are you being fulfilled by your 9 to 5? And or if you have a business. Now, why is that significant? Right? That's significant for a few reasons, right? So the other day, I put a Facebook Live I did a Facebook a year ago in January, right? And I just wanted to put it out there, just to kind of see the growth. But then right after that, I dropped one. It was for February 2nd. And actually, it was my first Facebook Live in 2021. Good morning. Good morning. My first Facebook Live in 2021, right? And the reason why I dropped it is because I want to show what consistency looks like and what growth looks like over time, right? Kind of real different in terms of movement and style from when I first started till now. Well, one of the reasons is because of what I'm going to go over, right? So I'm not going to, go too deep because I'm actually working on a group coaching program that, when I drop it, hopefully you guys will check it out and want to be a part of it, right? So what I'm going to talk about is really something that, is kind of dear to me, right? So I read a book a few years back, right, called The Cash Flow Quadrants by Robert Kiyosaki, right? So let's kind of dive into that, right? If you haven't read it, take some time to pick it up and really kind of understand it and read it. And in the cash flow quadrants, ladies and gentlemen, he talks about 4 quadrants, right? So I want you to get a pen. I want you to write this down, right? I want you to take a pen, draw a line down, and then draw a line through that line. And in the top left-hand corner, I want you to put an E. And then below that, I want you to put an S. And then the top right corner, I want you to put a B. And then the bottom, an I. That's E, S, B, and I. Okay? So we're going to go over those real quick, right? So in terms of not being fulfilled, right, in what you're doing, and a part of the reason why is because what happens is we work and we work, right? And we utilize our skills to pay the bills, right? I talked about that before. Good morning, good morning. But sometimes our spirit man is not satisfied, ladies and gentlemen. So let's talk about those 4 quadrants, right? We got an E, we have an S, we have a B, and then we have an I. The E stands for employee, right? Now, most people start out that way, right? I don't care how much money individuals have today, like your Jeff Bezos, your Bill Gates, your Warren Buffett, your Oprah Winfrey's. If you research back, somewhere they started as an employee. But along the way, ladies and gentlemen, they gathered more information. Maybe they got inspired, right? Or, they had a conversation with somebody who was doing something and they decide to jump on. But the majority of them all started in that E quadrant, probably similar to yourself and myself. Okay. So this is what happens, right? So from an E quadrant, the next thing most people do is go to the S, which is self-employed. Now, here's the challenge, ladies and gentlemen. This is where most individuals get stuck. Why do you say that, Thomas? Good morning. Good morning. Most individuals get stuck between an employee and self-employed because they don't know what they want to do. Okay. So last year, my topic primarily was understanding your gifts, right? The difference between your actual gift, right, and skills, right? Things that you acquired, right? And I said it before, right? Your skills pays the bills. Your gifts are things that you woke up with, right? So this morning, woke up, kind of thought about what I was going to, talk about last night, but woke up ready to go. Why? Because I'm working inside of my gifts, right? The ability to inspire people, to move people from where they are to another place, right? So this S quadrant, right? I know some individuals in that quadrant, right? So, one of my good friends, Mr. Charles Warwick, who always talk about his business, grown man business, embroidery. He is doing a phenomenal job, not just in our area in terms of Georgia, but nationwide, right? He does embroidery, right? We was at a conference this weekend, right? And we wore these jackets that he embroidered, right? So I was walking and somebody stopped me and said, hey, that's Charles Warwick's work, right? I just laughed. I said, yeah, that's grown man business embroidery work. Yeah, because people can identify with his work, right? As well as another good friend of mine, Kamel Pearson, right? KP, right? He has Wyatt Rock Prints, right? He does a lot of prints in the area and nationwide, right? And follow these guys on IG, right? These guys are doing a phenomenal job in the printing business, t-shirts, apparel, garments, like anything your mind can think. You could talk to these brothers and they can put those things on shirts. So follow them on IG. And another good friend of mine, Mr. Ryan Warwick, right? He does photography, right? Think Out the Box Media, right? Phenomenal in photography, right? So why am I mentioning these brothers? The reason why I'm mentioning these brothers is because they found a niche, right? So they're employees, they're in that E quadrant, right? But they're also moving down to the self-employed quadrant, right? So they're E's and they're moving to the S. Now, but they found something. They found a niche. Good morning, good morning. And why is that significant? So this is the area where most people have a hard time making a transition. Well, in my group coaching course, I'm actually going to talk about niches, right? I have a document right here that has over 100 different niches, right? Because sometimes we just don't know exactly what we want to do. So I want to read a couple to you, right? Executive coaching, right? Wellness coaching, singing, language, animation, technical, habits, travel coaching, friendship, purpose, right? Like there's all of these different niches, right? And this is kind of along the coaching line, organizational, right? Social, conflict, retailer, money mindset, right? Good morning, Marcus. Good morning, John. Good morning, Chandra, right? So just think about those things that you do well, right? Some people cook well, right? Some people are, mechanically inclined, right? So that thing that you do well is close and directly tied to your gift. It's different than going to a school and acquiring a skill. Now, the reason that's important because that helps you move through these different quadrants, right? So now, start off as an E. You find something that you really, really enjoy doing, right? Now you're starting to move into the S quadrant. And that's very, very significant because, again, that's where most people kind of flounder, right? I'm not so sure. Good morning, good morning. What does it look like? Right? Okay, so now if you do figure that out, I want you to do three things, right? And then we'll move on to the other two quadrants. I want you to do three things, right? First is that niche, right? Finding it. Right? And spend as much time as you need to find that thing that gives you self-gratification, which is the reason why the question is, are you being fulfilled by your 9 to 5, right? If you're not, right, these are some practical things that you can do to help to be fulfilled just as a human, right? Not worrying about what somebody else says or what somebody else thinks. No, just yourself. So first is finding and understanding what that is. The second is practicing, right? So now, why is that important? So the three brothers that I talked about, right? Grown Man Embroidery, White Rock Prince, and Think Outside the Box Media, is because those three brothers actually practice those things that they are gifted at. Now that's significant because when you start to practice, you get feedback, ladies and gentlemen, right? And feedback is necessary. Now, some people kind of feel a funny, kind of way about when it comes back, right? Because sometimes we take things personal or we get emotionally charged because somebody is giving us feedback, right? So if you want to move and elevate to the next level, that feedback is necessary, ladies and gentlemen. It's a part of the journey, right? That feedback will help you course correct, right? Because people will give you, even if you don't ask sometimes, their advice, on certain things, but that will help you, right? And then the last thing is finding a coach, right? So now why is that significant, right? So if you look at the top performers in society, right, between your Venus and Serena Williams, good morning, Michael Jordan, even Oprah, if you really study them, guess what? One thing they have in common, ladies and gentlemen, they have a coach, right? If you think about Tiger Woods, right? A few years back, Tiger Woods lost the Masters, went back to his coach, and his coach adjusted his swing. And then what happened the following year? He won the Masters, right? Venus, let's talk about Serena Williams, right? For those that look at tennis, when Serena is on a court and she's not, playing the game that the commentators know that she can play, if you ever pay attention, where does the camera pan? Think about that for a moment. When Serena is on the court and she's not playing to her ability, where does the camera span? Well, if you haven't been paying attention, the camera spans to her coach in the box. Why? Because they want to see the reaction from her coach as to why his client is not playing up to the ability that he coached her. Watch it. Pay attention from now on. You'll see it. I mean, it was one tennis match where they felt that her coach was giving her signals, right? And, think she got a point or disqualification or something, man, but it was a big issue, right? So coach, and sometimes some of us think that we don't need a coach. We got this. We can do this on our own, because you say to yourself, why should I pay somebody to tell me what I already know what to do? The challenge and the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, we may know it, but knowing and doing is two different things, right? That's what a coach does, right? So now, if you don't have the funds at this particular time to invest in the coach, look at YouTube, right? I don't care what you're looking for, you'll find it on YouTube. Well, hey, let's move on to the last two quadrants, then let you guys go. So after the S, right, once you find your niche, right, then you start to, utilize it, start to create, a business from it, self-employed. Then you move to the business owner, right? Business owner is significant because now what you've done is now you've created a system, right? You may have people working for you, workers, but you have a system, right? And that's very, very significant to your success. And then the last one is I. That's where you become an investor and your money is working for you, because you move through these different quadrants. You move from an employee, right? At the same time, you became self-employed. Then your income matched your employer income, your job income, and now you can make a decision, right? You may even be able to make that decision when you're self-employed, right? Do I stay or do I go? Boom. When you get to the B, I promise you, you're gone, because your income would have surpassed your employment's income, because now you have created and developed a system to work. And then investor. And that's important because now you're in a position where you're earning and making so much money that now you're investing in assets, and your investments are making money for you. Well, hey, the rest of it, I'm working on a group coaching program, and I'll go deeper into finding your niche, right? I'll go deeper into understanding systems, right? I'll go deeper into really understanding your gifts versus the skills that you acquired, and then help you make that decision on which way you want to go. Not myself. What do you feel is best for you, right? So, hey, on this Sunday morning, I just kind of want to expand your mind, right? Because it's only February, right? Beginning of the year. I just kind of want you to start thinking outside of your current situation. No matter what it is, right? Not saying that it's good or bad, right? Just if you want to move to another quadrant, there's a way to do that, right? But first, we have to make sure that your mind has expanded past your current reality, right? And that's what I do. I'm a visionary coach. I help individuals expand, their thought process, their mind, past where they currently are. And that's significant. Why? Because I was once told that vision has nothing to do with sight, right? If you close your eyes, can you see it? That's what's significant. That's what's important. Well, hey, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on social media. Hit me up. Send me a message if you want a free consultation. But hey, it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege, right? Remember, the E quadrant, the S quadrant, the B quadrant, and the I quadrant. Until then, go out there, ladies and gentlemen, and make it a great day. Talk to you soon.